You see that developers, when they are building the application, they always focus on this, right? So we have functionality, security, usability, but developers, network engineers, cloud architects, mobile app developers, they always focus on what? Functionality. And at times they can consider users in terms of making sure that people can easily navigate, use the software. Nobody's thinking about security. So is the cloud security engineer. So Google have it as Google Cloud Security or professional Google Cloud Security engineer, right? That's what Google have the certification as. Amazon have it as AWS security specialty, right? Azure have their own too. They have it as something associate. The mobile app security engineer too. So that means this guy does not just know how to build a mobile app. He's looking at all the security. So we have what they call the mobile app security framework. The web security guy too. Web security engineer. So this guy doesn't just build websites. The guy can do what? The guy can make sure that OApps is at the fulcrum. So OApps, it's 10, top 10. Then the network guy, that means the guy is either doing either cloud network or regular network. So maybe he has a Cisco security, or he has either AWS or he has Azure security, whatever. So he doesn't just understand networks. He understands how do we make sure that this network is secured. So that's why for technical security, the security analyst or engineer, the question is going to ask is, what are you protecting? Are you trying to protect a network? Question is that, can you set up a network? Are you trying to protect a website? Question is, can you set up a website? You want to, like somebody was asking me yesterday that she wants to do cloud security engineer. I say, you want to do cloud security engineer? Are you a cloud architect? Person say no. I say, you are jumping the gun. So cloud architect, cloud security, Collins are laughing. So the question is, do you understand the architecture? If I need to put in maybe my data, if I need to put in my mobile apps, if I need to set up networks on the cloud, if I need to do load balancing, if I need to do CDS, can I deploy that in the cloud? That's the first thing. If I can do that, then I can start talking about securing those things in the cloud.
Securing those things in the cloud.
If not, you're just going to be is like an advisor, a conductor, a bus terminal guy that directs people on where to go, but he doesn't go to that place. So he doesn't even know where that place looks like. You won't even get an interview, talk more of even getting a job. You won't even be able to speak with your client, talk more of helping your client to secure. Or is it mobile app, mobile security? So the question is that, can you develop mobile app? And the idea is that even when you're coming to core security, you don't need to be like a guru, like an expert. No, because your aim is actually security. So the idea is not that, oh, I want to be a network engineer to up to CCIE. No, I have my CCNP. Right? So it's even not needed. Even if you have a Cisco associate, right? Or you understand up to routing, switching, wireless essentials, that's fine. I don't mean introduction to networking or networking essentials or basic network. No, at least to some good extent in routing, switching. Then you can now say, okay, yes, I'm going to understand all of this web or this cloud, whatever, but my goal is what? Network security. So that means that you can talk about security in data centers. You can talk about network security in enterprise networks, right? Like that. Same things for website. You have to choose something. You have different stacks. So you have LAMP stack, you have main stack. So Linux, like what we are building now, this application we're building is a LAMP stack. Is on the Linux server, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Main stack, MongoDB, ExpressJS, React, Node.js, or is it a main stack or mean stack that is Angular, Node.js? Or are you a mobile app guy? So that means maybe you're using Swift or you're using Angular or you're using...
But you
or you're
get network,
using...
yeah, I do that for you. You get network.
Please, everybody, make sure when you come in, you
I
mute
will
your
include
mic.
this calculation.
Kelechi, please make sure you mute your mic. Everybody, please make sure you mute your mic. Tochiko, please mute your mic. Everybody. Okay, so is it is it what's it called, Angular, wherever? So the idea is that you want to make sure that you have like a base, your base, where I think I could clear everything at once. Let me see. Well done. So your base, where you are in terms of your core, should tell where you should now focus on, right? Okay, anybody have a question with respect to what I just discussed before we move on? Anybody question before we go back to our application? So we want to resume building our web monitoring tool or web monitoring application. Question, please. Question, please. If you have question, unmute and ask a question, or just drop in the chat so that we can write them. Anybody? Okay. In part one, what we did was that we picked up a Bootstrap template, which was this, and we loaded it on a server. Then we created a login page, right? Now, the next thing we want to do is that we want to create a login system. How we're going to do that, we're going to create a database, we're going to create a table, then we are going to define, let's say, two username and password, then we're going to create an admin page that we can be able to see everybody that have logged in on their IP address and all of that. So this is the structure of the application index. So we're done with this. Login, we don't need a register. This, then admin page is what we want to work on now, right? Okay, so let's write on. So let's use ChatGPT to bootstrap some of our development process. Okay, so let's say, okay, somebody have a question. Can we work remotely in all aspects of cybersecurity, especially network security, or it has to always be on site? No, it can be remote, right? These days, you have cloud enterprises that have, you see, these days now, you see, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when people say network engineering or network security, it always have to be a physical network. It always have to be a data center. It always have to be a physical enterprise. But now you have network security engineers that most of the things they do is in the cloud. Because in the cloud, all your websites have IP addresses. All your websites are in a cloud infrastructure. Then companies will need people to help them set up remote VPN systems, what's it called, firewall system, or support clients or customers that are in physical locations that but want to use cloud network infrastructure. So, but if you look at all of the different career options, what's it called? Data security, web security, what's it called? Cloud security, and what's it called? Mobile app security will be like your lowest hanging fruit in terms of how the availability of or the need for such kind of career options. So if you see 100 jobs, around 40 is going to be web, around 30 or 35 or even 40 is going to be cloud. Data and the rest we share the remaining 20 or 30, right? So if you say uh, career options by need, you could do your investigation. You find out that you see more in web security, cloud security compared to you're going to see in network and in what was it called? In network and which other one? Okay, so let's try it on. So we want to build this stuff. So we are telling ChatGPT, please allow us, because what I want to do is to make sure that we do this thing and do it very fast. Sure. I want to be sure everybody you can see my screen. I think it should be showing. Sharing screen. Yes. Okay, so maybe sign out and sign again. Okay, awesome. So let me continue. So I don't want to bug ChatGPT with the index and register, and I already created that, right? I think we can go ahead and even create our admin page, right? So let's go back to our server. Let's cancel this, and this login page. Let's duplicate this login page. This is our login page. That is this page, this login page. Let's duplicate this page and make it an admin page and empty it out. So we say a new file, call it admin access. Sorry, admin access.php, right? And edit it. We paste everything here, but we remove, but we create our own admin header, right? We don't want to use this header. We want to create another header that is going to be admin header, right? Admin header.php. So we will copy the content of this normal header. We'll copy everything, and we will this admin header, we will paste it there, but we will take off everything here. All this menu, we don't need it, right? We don't need all this menu. We don't need this menu. We don't need everything. What we just need this, we don't need this logo, right? We don't need this logo. We just need this quick start, and we just want to have it as welcome to admin dashboard, right? So that's that. Then we save it. So this is our new admin header. So it's called admin header.php. So the admin access, which is like the dashboard where we're going to be seeing everything that is happening, we are going to edit it and we are going to say this login.php file, everything in it, we need it. For this admin access, we want to say admin header. So that should be the header we are seeing, right? Then this content should be something else, right? This content should be something else. So it should be empty. So we just do a comment and say, this is the area to do web monitoring. So this is where we want to be seeing all of the information of everything, right? So we just said, okay, that admin header, just where we have welcome to admin. Then we have an area where we do web monitoring. I think we can just center this. just a small something, right? We just do, right? So we just have, this is an area to do web monitoring, but you cannot access this admin until you put a password, right? You want to do something like that. You cannot access this admin until you put a password. I don't want to take time to now start doing a login system for admin, right? So if I say southechventures.com/server tracking/admin access.php, so we see something like this. So I have a bug. So you see that uh, it's like revolving and revolving. It's not loading. Let's see if this server have generated a log. Let me go back. One level, server tracking. Okay, no log generated. Let me go back to the admin access again and see what might be the issue. Admin header.php, do we have that? Admin header.php. Let me make sure I copy it correctly. Admin header.php, right? Then footer.php. This area to do web monitoring. Let me save it. Then the URL is admin access.php. So something is happening, it's not loading. Let me take off the footer section and see. Maybe let me take off this footer because you see this guy, this loader, it's on the footer section. It's a JavaScript file. So let me just comment this by doing control/. I'll comment that out. Let me refresh. So someone should try this URL and see if you're going to load. Or let me try another browser and see Edge. You can try it if you try it and let's see what you get. Okay, I will drop the URL for you, just a second. So you can try this URL and see whether you can see it. Sorry, I'm coming. This URL. Confirm if the site loads. Let me know. So let me check and see if, okay, see, it loads and starts doing the, somebody says, no, it doesn't load. Okay, it loads and starts doing the revolving stuff. Let's see. Just a second. Let me reload. So admin access, let me evaluate it again. So admin header, this footer, this guy is on the footer. Let me just cut it out and see and try again. Somebody says it's not loading. Let me try it again and see. Okay, it loads. So there's a problem with that footer. See, there's a problem with this particular, this guy. There's a problem with this footer. So let me not spend time to try to debug that, or I can create a separate footer for this admin access later on. So I will just take it off. I will save this. I will save this, try and refresh. I say, welcome to admin. So this is where we are going to do all of the web monitoring. So now, I'm just going to go and tell ChatGPT that, please, ChatGPT, I have a login page. So this is our login page, right? I'm going to tell ChatGPT that, please, I have a login page, and this is the parameter for my login page. I need to create a monitoring system on so page, and I need it to save all of these credentials. But I also need you to use so credential. Then if any other credential attempts to log in, I also want you to like log it. So the simple architecture for this application is going to be something like this. So the simple architecture is going to be something like, we have a database. Sorry, we have a database. So we're going to have a database, right? So we're going to call the database access tracking, right? We're going to call the database access tracking. So the database is going to have two tables. One table is going to be called users, right? Then another table is going to be called what? Admin. If we wish, we can keep it simple. Then the table is going to have, the database is going to have another table called tracking, right? You know what a table is now? This is a table, right? A table is going to have rows. So ID1, ID2, ID3, ID4, ID5. So username attempted, password attempted, IP address attempted. What again? Location, right? Browser, we want to know where your browser details are. We want to know your operating system. Which operating system are you using? We want to know what again? We want to know all of these details. We want to grab all of these details for the user. So we're going to store all the information on this tracking table. Somebody is saying something. Okay, success or failure. We also want to check if it is successful or not, right? Then we want to also count how many times. We also want to see if we can grab country. You're laughing. Yeah, location. Okay, maybe location, country, any of these two. So we want to grab this information. I want to store it in this tracking table. Then this admin is just going to have the username and password of admin. But this password, we want to make sure that it is hashed. We don't want a clear text password. We want a password that is hashed. I know everybody here, you should be able to understand the difference between hashing, salting, peppering, right? All these are cryptographic concepts. Okay, so this is going to be like the structure of the application. So you need to understand this to now tell ChatGPT to use this and now create that for you. So we can be done like in 10 minutes. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and go write the script for it. We're going to go ahead and say, okay, I have a login page with the following code base. Most of you don't know that you can have, oh, sorry. Most of you might not know that you can have all of this on ChatGPT, right? You can give ChatGPT all of this stuff. It will not complain, right? I'm telling you that, please, this is my code base, right? For a login page. I need to build a web monitoring application to be on this page, right? So I can go say, okay, this is my web monitoring application, or this is the page. I now say, okay, I need to have a database called access tracking with two tables. Let me just make it two tables. Users and tracking details, right? User tables will have only three approved users with their email, username, and password. But note that, okay, users, we have only three approved users. But note that the password column should be hashed. I'm going to show you so I see what it looks like. Password column is going to be hashed. And the tracking details that will be logged in the table will include what again? IP address, username, password, browser details, operating system. What else again?
Location.
Location or geography.
Successful.
If the login was successful or not. What else again?
Login count.
Login count. That's to say how many times the person attempted. What else again? IP address, we already written that. Username, password, browser details, operating system. Now, you can actually extend this application to be very powerful by making this application connect to an API. How many of us know Sucuri? Sucuri. How many of us know is a web security platform? How many of us know Talos Intelligence is a web security intelligence platform? How many of us know Virus Total? Right? It's a web security intelligence platform. Now, these platforms already have known URLs, known IP addresses that are vulnerable. So if I put my URL and say like this, and hit enter, it will tell if that URL is phishing, clean, or not clean. If I put an IP address, let's say this website now, if I say whois.com/whois, if I put this IP address and say, sorry, let me just do a CMD. If I say ping this, if I grab that IP address and go try to gather intelligence on this particular IP address and say, okay, please, Virus Total, I'm investigating a URL on IP address. Tell me if it is susceptible or not, right? I could go to Talos. This is Talos Intelligence Center. I could go to Talos and say, please, I want to give you an IP address. I want to give a URL. I want to give you the website domain name. Please tell me if this is vulnerable or not. I could go to Sukuri. I also put a website name, put an IP address, and I can tell it, please, can you tell me if this is intelligent, if this is vulnerable? Now, the word have gone past where you are going to be deciding or checking by yourself if something. So you can piggyback on existing platforms so that your application is going to be gathering intelligence from those platforms. Are we together? So this your application, you can make it very, very smart so that if anybody is coming from that particular location or that particular IP address, you just go ahead and block the person. But now we're not doing that. We might do that later on, but we just want to create something straightforward. Okay, so we go and okay, yes. So I think we can stop here. IP address, username, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's all. We told it I have a login page. This is it. I also have a web monitoring application that's going to be on this page. The name of the page is what? Admin access, right? The name of the page is admin access. We can say, okay, please, I want to make sure that the page that will uh, have information of the logins is secured. That's to say, you must put a password to access it. Let's just start with what's it called? A fixed password of, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's all. So what ChatGPT is going to do is that it's going to try to tell us how to set this application up. It's going to tell us how to create a database, how to create the tables. You see, it's trying to create a database, what's it called? The user table, the tracking detail table, right? Look at all the data it's going to be grabbing. Then it's going to now create a page where it's going to have me insert the approved users. That's only the admins. Then it's going to have this page that is going to be for monitoring. So this page is going to fetch all those details we talked about. So the guy is still generating. So it's refactoring everything into my own page that I already created. I think we'll just go for 5 minutes break.